If you've ever felt stuck in the cycle of dieting, eat less, work out more, repeat, then you know how frustrating it can be when the results don't last. But what if the real solution is the opposite of what you've been told? My next guest is a dietitian who found freedom by eating more, working out less, and focusing on the root causes of weight loss resistance. And today, she's sharing right here on this podcast how those same principles connect with salmon, heart health, and everyday energy. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Seafood isn't just a dish. It's a global story. The Decoding Seafood by Mauy podcast series explores the science, sustainability, and surprising truths behind the seafood you love, straight from the voices of those shaping the industry. From chefs, scientists, influencers, and insiders who live and breathe seafood and uncover what most of us never see. Hosted by Chef George Duran, you can find Decoding Seafood here on your favorite platform and at Mauy Salmon TV on YouTube.
Welcome back to Decoding Seafood by Mowi. I'm your host, George Duran. Today I'm joined by Brooke Sobh, a registered dietitian, certified lactation consultant, and founder of Brooke Sobh Nutrition. She's also one of the newest faces of Mauy Salmon TV. You can find it, of course, on YouTube, where she's helping people connect salmon and healthy eating in fresh, exciting ways. Brooke, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Brooke, all right, so you became a dietitian how long ago?
13 years ago.
So what does it take to become a dietitian? Do I just go and take an online course, click the boxes, and now you're a dietitian?
No, not at all. Okay. So there's a difference between a registered dietitian and then a nutritionist. So registered dietitians, what we do, we literally have to get our degree in dietetics. It's a major, so it's an undergrad. So just like health sciences, dietetics, pre-med.
I mean, you're talking about nutrition and a dietitian. So nutrition is kind of like knowing what you're eating. A dietitian is what to eat?
So for me, what I did was I literally went to school for dietetics. My undergrad was dietetics. I had 4 years of undergrad in dietetics, which is pre-med stuff. So a lot of organic chemistries and the really hard chemistries, anatomy, all that kind of stuff.
So it's more like the science of nutrition.
Correct. That's what it is. It's the science of nutrition. So 4 years of undergrad. Then after that, you have to take a national exam. You have to do 1,200 hours of an unpaid internship in the dietetics fields, all sorts of them. And then you now have to get your master's in dietetics to be a dietitian.
What?
So we have a lot of training and then continuing education, all that kind of stuff every year.
So one of the issues I have, or not an issue, but it's kind of like this conundrum. We're constantly evolving with what is proper nutrition and what is good for you, what our bodies have to take to get the right nutrition. I mean, what was said 10 years ago is completely different than what is said today.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with those changes in knowledge? And I mean, you want to become a nutritionist tomorrow, it could be a whole different story.
Well, I mean, studies, like you read evidence-based research, you do your continuing education, you keep reading up on the new evidence and all that, and you keep, going. We are like science-based, so it's not just feelings and emotions and what's the newest fad. It's like, well, let me look at that fad and see if there's actual reason behind this.
So how did you get into this? I mean, obviously you didn't wake up and say, I want to eat healthy today, because I certainly didn't.
So I was always kind of like a health nut growing up. My parents were too. We all played sports, but I originally went to USF and I majored in business, and I was like, oh, hate this.
Sure.
Did not like it. So after that, I actually went to the Career Center. I took a test and they said, be a dietitian. So I'm like, okay, where do I do to go do that? And so there's only like 3 schools in Florida, and Florida State was one of them. So I went to Florida State, transferred, got my degree, and just went through all the schooling.
Amazing. That's a lot of schooling to become a nutritionist.
I know.
So the biggest issue I have with something like dieting, for example, is that people, women and men both, they're constantly struggling with having the right way of dieting. Today, it's today, and I want you to tell me what are the proper steps for proper nutrition and balance when you're trying to consume good food. What would you tell someone is the right formula?
It's hard because every single person's different. You all are different. Somebody has diabetes. Somebody has high cholesterol. Somebody doesn't have anything. Someone wants to lose weight. Someone wants to gain weight. It's different for every single person.
So that's why it's important to go see a nutritionist so they know your family history, see what shape you're in, what age, all these factors play into how they should balance food, life, and, health.
We kind of take a deep dive into your life to figure out what is going on with that person, to figure out what we need to do to help them.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I've struggled with weight all my life, mostly because of my parents. I'm going to blame everything on my mom right now. Mom, if you're listening from the dead, it's your fault. It's not just, not knowing what to eat or not knowing what you have so you can balance that healthy diet. It's a behavioral issue as well at the end of the day. And a lot of Americans struggle with that too. All right, don't eat cake, don't eat donuts, eat more protein, less carbs. But where do you come in when it comes to the behavioral part of all this? Because there's a psychological component that a lot of nutritionists or maybe dietitians forget that people are struggling with.
I mean, I feel like all I talk about is emotions with people most of the time, when really I just want to talk about the science, but there's so much emotion to it. So a lot of the time I'm getting people right now that grew up in the Jenny Craig era or the Atkins diet.
Yes, I did that too, yes.
Right. So our parents and that generation was all low fat everything, as low calorie as possible.
No egg yolks, remember.
No egg yolks. Just no fat, 0 fat, 100 calorie packs. That's what you can eat, right? So the problem with that, though, is that has made our metabolisms weak because I know we'll probably get into this later, but your metabolism, what kind of happens is if you're giving it low calories for a very long time, it's going to adapt to those low calories and start burning less calories because that's what you're giving it. So it doesn't know if you're in a desert or anywhere else. It's saying, hey, I want to keep you alive. Let me burn less calories. So the problem now is that we have all those people that grew up in that generation of low calories, and they're trying to eat more calories, but they're gaining weight and they're getting really mad.
Yeah. So what is the one ingredient or food that you would say has that perfect amount of satiety? Like you can eat it, has a good amount of fats, protein, that's really going to keep you full for the rest of the day.
So protein and something that has protein and fat in it. Salmon is a great option.
Salmon. Oh my God. Why would you even mention salmon on Decoding Seafood by Mowi? Yeah, of course.
But it really is. It's really a great option because it does have protein and fat, which keeps you fuller longer all day.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. It's trying to find that good fat, the good source of fat, because I can eat, fried chicken all day, which is fatty and protein, but it's not the fat I'm looking for, right?
Right. No, not at all, because the good fats in salmon is omega-3.
Yes.
So omega-3 is good for inflammation. It reduces inflammation. It's good for your heart health because it lowers our LDL, which is the bad cholesterol.
Right.
And then it raises your HDL, which is your good cholesterol. So the more good cholesterol, the lower your LDL, the better for our heart health.
So what is it in omega-3 that is perfect? I know it reduces inflammation, but how do we find out that these omega-3 fats, the fats that our parents said, do not eat any fat, low fat, but now we're looking at omega-3 fats like salmon that are so good for you. What have we discovered that now it's a whole 180 on it?
They're protective to your heart. There's just studies out there showing that omega-3s are actually protective and help our heart do better versus the lower fat options. A lot of people had heart disease and obesity. It didn't help anything. Yeah. The whole low fat thing, it didn't help anything.
Yeah, I remember these low calorie muffin packs, and they were low fat muffin packs. No fat, low fat, and you're eating all carbs and obviously whatever the sugars are in there, and now it's I look back 20 years ago and I'm like, what were we thinking?
Right.
But the truth is that if you have real foods on your table and a good balanced diet, you can still eat that chocolate cake and that fried chicken or whatever it is. Just eat the good stuff first. I would say the vegetables, the protein, maybe complex carbs. Is that what it is now?
Well, so the problem with those low calorie packs is that it just doesn't fill you up, so you're gonna want more anyway. So it's that was pointless. Why did you even have that? I remember remember in high school, I had those 100-calorie cookie packs. Why did I care?
Yeah.
Like, I was so active. Why did I do that? That was so silly.
Yeah.
And it wasn't doing anything for me. Like, yeah, we actually need real food. And my biggest thing is just have 3 big meals a day.
Yeah.
Don't even snack. Just fill up at your meals with like a protein, a fat, and a veggie 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Don't even snack.
You're saying that you were in high school, so a lot of it is starting from the beginning, meaning training the kids. You have kids, right? How many kids?
Yeah, I have 2 kids.
2 kids. What ages are they?
2 and 4.
Okay, so you're just starting.
Yeah.
I have a 9 and a 13, or now feels like he's 27. But man, starting young, at a young age, teaching them how to eat right and balanced. It's a struggle for a lot of parents out there. Let's talk about salmon. How would you start your kids to start eating salmon? And do they?
They do. Anything I eat, they eat. So not that this is like a parenting podcast or anything, but the biggest thing with kids is like the parents I have as clients, they hate cooking because they have to cook like 4 different meals one for their husband, one for them, one for their other kid, and it's just like, that is not practical. Just give the kids what you eat. If they don't eat it, they don't get anything.
What? That is so
that is what I do.
That's like a grandpa thing to do.
You know
you
what,
don't like
though?
it, you don't eat it.
My kids eat salmon. They really, truly do, and they love it. They call it the pink meat, and they just love it.
I like that.
And we season it, make sure that it tastes good. It's not just, not
I just want to say I've lost that. I'm my children's private chef right now, so I take different orders. But when it comes to salmon, I trained them into it. And the way I did that is I started with sushi salmon, with salmon sushi raw. And that was more like this marbled kind of just melting your mouth. And from there, it kind of progressed into cooked salmon, which I do right now. And I don't overcook it. I try to make sure it's cooked to perfection as well.
Right.
And that still has that fattiness, that marbling that kind of melts in their mouth. But another way that I found is smoked salmon is really good. Kids love it. It's salty, it's fatty. Again, it's kind of has that marbling kind of, especially if you have a good quality smoked salmon. I won't say duck trap, but I just did. But if you have a good quality smoked salmon and you serve it to them, even if it's bagel and cream cheese, and yes, there's a lot of carbs in that bagel, but that flavor profile just gets them jump-started. If you could tell parents out there, I want you to tell parents out there who are struggling to get their kids to eat salmon, is there a particular dish or something that you like to cook that you think kids could start eating salmon with?
Well, okay, so with kids, you want to give them like a safe food on their plate. So, 2 and 4, they want what they want. They love mashed potatoes. So I'm like, okay, at least put the mashed potatoes there because I know that they're going to like this dish if I put mashed potatoes. So a little bit of mashed potatoes, I do a little bit of broccoli, and then I'll put seasoned salmon on their plate, just in little amounts. Don't put a lot, because if you put a lot, it's overwhelming to them. So you just do a little bit. And if they want more, you can give them more later. But I do season the salmon. I put it there. Might give them something to dip it into because dipping sauces are fun for them. But you always put like a safe food on there, then a healthier food, and then the meat.
Yeah, there's a term in the candy industry. It's called hand to mouth, and they try to get as much hand to mouth terminology with their candy. So if you can get a candy that goes hand to mouth as much as possible, they'll eat that candy more. Like it gets more excited. And maybe that's kind of what we can apply to like healthier food, like salmon, like dipping sauces and something that they can kind of make by themselves. Those those little lunch with the dividers.
Lunchables.
Yeah, I mean, but you make it yourself, like homemade kind of lunch boxes, and they can kind of dip and form and make their crackers and their sandwiches and put smoked salmon.
Like make it fun.
Make it fun for them.
Yeah.
And it'll taste. What is your go-to salmon seasoning? What do you absolutely love?
There's like this garlic butter seasoning that we put on top of ours, and then we just put the salmon in the air fryer, and it's good to go.
The best way to cook the salmon is without a doubt the air fryer, right? I mean, I like to broil it as well. It kind of feels like it kind of just crisps it on top as well. The skin doesn't get crispy, but in the air fryer, it's like perfection.
I know.
I mean, they invented the air fryer for the salmon, I think.
You think?
I believe so. That's what it was made for.
Not like French fries
or nuggets or something like that.
Yeah.
No, it's for salmon. That's the only thing it's for.
This episode is sponsored by Mowi, featuring a range of sizes and pre-season options. Salmon is good. Mowi is goodness.
All right. You struggled with your nutrition early on in your life. Tell us about that story and how you became who you are right now.
I mean, even after I was a dietitian, it was still the era of low fat at that time, So I was a runner. I did marathons. I would run like 10 miles a day. And I was barely eating because I wanted to stay thin. I was thin. I wanted to stay thin. I did that for a very long time. I competed in marathons and I got really good at it, but I was barely eating. I felt terrible.
Because you thought that not eating is the way to lose weight and stay skinny,
Correct.
low calorie, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
And then what happened?
So losing all this, I didn't lose any weight. I was actually getting puffy and I was getting inflamed. I was gaining weight. I was getting so frustrated. I'm like, what is going on with my body? So then I looked into something called reverse dieting, where you actually build your metabolism by eating more calories and then running less. So we're bringing that homeostasis back, because I was burning so many calories and barely taking in any calories. My body was just like, I'm done. I'm not doing this for you anymore. I'm going to start gaining it all. And that's kind of what happened. So when I started to eat more and actually work out less, I lost the weight.
That's like the opposite of what everyone says. Like,
I know.
I'm sorry, but that's where I am. I work out less and eat more, and but I should maybe start from the beginning and
But
say,
did you start
no,
with working out too much and not eating enough?
You didn't tell me that I have to do that.
Yeah,
All I hear from you is work out less and eat more. That's
No.
all I'm hearing. But that's not your case.
It
What you're
depends
saying is, like, if
who
you
it is.
overdo it, you got to go back the other way too, and then
Yeah.
you'll see more results.
Because your body needs a break. It's tapped out.
Yeah.
So mine
I've been
was
on a break
tapped
for
out.
50 years, just so you know.
So now we got to get you
Yeah.
back into action.
Oh, back where? My previous life?
No, we
When I
need
was
to
a
just
marathon
get
runner?
you. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I got to tell you something. Again, it's all about, again, for me, it's a behavioral situation. I know what to eat. Like, I go to the doctor and he's like, you have to. And I'm just like, I know. I'm a chef. I know exactly what to eat. It's a behavioral situation.
Yeah.
It's going and putting on the TV and there's food, or walking through the supermarket and the worst quality artificial flavored dyes are right in front of you and the
Yeah.
good stuff is down low. I mean, I know how to read labels.
Yeah.
It's just more the psychological effect of like walking in and saying, hey, somebody invented a new kind of fried nugget with I don't know what sauce, and you're like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Also, we have a situation where it's easier to purchase a frozen, pre-made, fattier, processed foods than it is the real fresh foods.
Right.
Except for salmon, actually, which is it's the one thing. I get a lot of folks that come up to me and they say, I only eat wild salmon, and that is not supposed to be the case. Farm salmon is genuinely good. Folks like Mowi are doing a fantastic job raising salmon sustainably and making sure that quality of salmon is is really high quality, meaning you can trust farm salmon today. Also, we have a massive population. Like, how are we going to feed the world with wild food?
Right.
you can't go out there. You have to farm at the end of the days. And when you do it sustainably, you do it properly, you're feeding the salmon right, you're getting, quality and affordable salmon that can feed the whole family. So we're progressing. Yes, I feel like today the industrial food complex is like going against us, but at the same time there are glimmers of hope. And when you look at Mowi, I think you kind of see that a little bit.
Right. Listen, hearing you talk about going to the supermarket, you see all these shiny objects and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want that. You can still have it. Like, my whole thing is I want to make sure everybody still has the things that they love, but they're able to fit it in like a smaller portion and then fill the rest of your plate with more vegetables and healthier things. So it's fine. Have the stuff, but in a smaller portion. Fill your plate with more vegetables so you're actually full off of the good stuff, and you can still have your fun.
So a 5-layer chocolate cake instead of a 20-layer chocolate cake is what you're saying.
Right. No.
No, okay. You're saying is fill up on the veggies, fill up on the protein, fill up on the complex carbs, anything that's like whole wheat, high fiber, and then that little bit of room that you have left, you can have something
Still enjoy
sweet.
yourself, because if you don't let yourself have that fun stuff, then you're never going to stick to anything.
Yeah, but man, have you had those kettle potato chips that come in like sweet and sour?
Totally.
And,
But portion it out, and then you're just allowed that.
Right.
Period. And then go put it somewhere else and don't go back to the
cabinet. What is your guilty pleasure?
Probably brownies, cookies. I'm a sweets person. I eat chocolate after every dinner.
Yeah, but there's ways to eat chocolate healthy too, like the darker chocolates. Like, what do you like for chocolate?
I don't even do dark chocolate. I do what I want, because again, if I don't do what I want, I'm just gonna binge at another time. So I eat what I want, even if it's a chocolate chip cookie or a brownie, at after every dinner.
Yeah. What do you think is the biggest mistake people are doing out there when it comes to nutrition? What are you seeing out there? Some of your clients, and you're just like, whoa, you cannot do that. What's one thing?
So I think, there's a couple of things. Just first off, I think a lot of people maybe eat too many carbs and not enough protein. So when you eat too many carbs and you don't eat enough protein, your blood sugar is going up and down, and you're going to feel tired throughout the day. But if you're pairing protein with your carbs, your blood sugar stays more stable, and you're less hungry throughout the day, and you'll have less binges throughout the day. Oh. So I think that's number one. Number two, a lot of people come to me, they're like, oh, I'm only eating 1,000 calories. I can't lose weight. But actually, yes, there is that metabolism issue that I talked about before. But another problem is that people will be under eating for maybe Monday through Friday, like 1,200 calories. Right. They're busy, they're strict. And then the weekend comes and they're like, let's go.
Binging.
Yeah. So then they binge on everything. Yeah. And they tell me I'm only eating 1,200 calories. But if I looked at a 7-day food log of what they actually ate over 7 days, it's actually like 2,000 because their weekend was crazy. So you're restricting too much, which then causes you to say, thank God the weekend's here. I can eat whatever I want. And then you just undid everything.
Yeah. Is there something to be said on the order of the foods? Let's say you have a fully balanced meal, the vegetables, the fiber, or the carbs, and the protein, and then you have a dessert. Mm-hmm. Is there something to be said on the order of eating this? I'm seeing a lot of people online talking about how to eat it.
Yeah. So if you're looking at a plate, half of it, I would first say, let's fill with vegetables. Yeah. Whether it's a salad or vegetable, whatever, asparagus, broccoli, and then a fourth is going to be your protein, and then the other fourth can be carbs. So let's say mashed potatoes is 1/4, broccoli is the half, salmon is the protein.
Yes.
You can have the protein first, then have the vegetables, then go to the carb. And so that way you're filling up on the healthier stuff first.
Got it.
And then going to
So your go-to vegetable to go with salmon, what would that be?
I love broccoli. I love roasted broccoli.
Yes.
Or broccolini.
Broccolini is fantastic too. I'm going to tell you a broccoli recipe that is fantastic that goes great with salmon.
Okay.
And it's so stupid easy to make. In a pan, I just put a tiny bit of oil, add the broccoli florets on it that I just cooked, and then right when you start hearing it sizzle, just add like this much, like a tiny little speckle of a chicken stock in it. Cover it up. That steam and that saltiness of the stock will kind of season it, but that steam will cook it to perfection. 1 minute exactly. You pull it out.
So you put like foil over it?
Just cover it with a pot pan. Cover it with the lid.
Gotcha.
And in 1 minute, that steam is going to evaporate, but that stock will flavor the broccoli. And you just serve it. My kids gobble that up.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sounds good. I'm really going to try it.
I mean, I never thought in my life my kids would be gobbling up broccoli.
Yeah.
They eat it. They ask for it every stinking day. I'm just like, all right, broccoli again.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not, right? And then pair it with a good protein, like a good salmon, and call it a day. I mean, obviously, you could put some sides on it. What about a good starch that goes good with salmon? What do you like?
Mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
I keep saying mashed
like
potatoes.
my wife.
So I love mashed potatoes or potatoes, or you can
Yeah.
have a little slice of bread.
Yeah.
But I love potatoes.
Yeah.
And the kids do too, which is why it's like, okay, they like it, I like it. Again, I want their safe food.
Yeah.
So
any grain that you go for that is like, really high in fiber, like any cool little fun grain?
Greens. So I love just for breakfast, a lot of the time I'll do like a Dave's Killer bread.
Okay.
Piece of bread, slice of bread, which has like 4 grams of fiber and protein in it. So you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You're having a carb plus the fiber and protein, and then adding some kind like an egg on top of it with avocado.
Oh, that's good. Oh, avocado is fantastic too. Good.
Those
in
have
fiber.
omega-3s too.
Yes, of course. Again, there's that omega-3 again. So supplements? Do you take supplements?
I take creatine, because I do strength training,
Okay.
And I play beach volleyball, and I just like to build muscles. So I take creatine and just protein.
Okay, that's good. So so anyone who wants to kind of get into the vitamin side, and I mean, what I see is that if you just eat balanced, you're going to get all the vitamins and the minerals that you need.
Yeah, all that. You don't really need all that other stuff.
No.
I mean, unless you really are eating like crap. I mean, it'll help, but just eat real food.
Yeah. And if you're working out and you're building muscle and mass, again, protein is key. Like what better than salmon, right? Or any other kind of lean protein, but salmon, 100%. It has it all.
Salmon keeps me full forever.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm having that for dinner, I don't even want a snack after dinner. I'm just so full because of the fat content, because fat is slower to digest. So when you have fat and protein combined, you're going to feel fuller longer. So, people on like these GLP-1 medications, they find that the higher fat stuff is making them nauseous. So you hear people may say like they're nauseous on the semaglutides. That's because the medicine is already slowing down digestion. So when they have like a avocado or some kind of a high fat food, they're even more full. So we're kind of doing that without taking the GLP-1 if you have a food that has fat and salt.
Right. So you're satiated with the fat.
Yep.
And that's kind of what makes you full, and that's it. You don't want any more food, and you move on in life. I know that for a fact that in our house, when we make something like salmon, we make double the amount, because the next day for lunch, it's like the cold salmon is like one of the best secrets to put on a salad. Like it tastes amazing.
Yeah, just chop it up and put it all. Yeah.
So what are you doing for Mauy Salmon TV exactly?
So right now we are making some episodes called Salmon for a Stronger You, and we're going through all the things that salmon can do for you, for your health, for your heart, for weight loss, for your energy. So we're doing lots of episodes, lots of information about that, so we can share that with everybody.
Yeah, and people really need some sort of guidance, especially with salmon. When I first met my wife, she hated salmon, and that was because nobody knew how to cook it properly for her. The moment I started cooking for her, and she's like, now I'll only order your salmon, and that's it. Of course, she's not paying anything for it, so that's how she gets it. But she loves the way I cook salmon. So if we can get some guidance through you, that's wonderful that you have this great partnership. Tell me a little bit more about your past and your family's past, and how that affected you in becoming a nutritionist today.
Well, with the salmon, so Mowi reached out to me probably about a month after my dad passed away. He passed away. I'm going to cry, but it's fine.
It's fine.
He passed away in March.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he had a heart attack. And months before that, we realized that he had to get some stents. And so we got the stents, and he ended up being fine. But then out of nowhere, he had a massive heart attack. So if I knew, like years ago, if I knew that our family carried this gene, it's called lipoprotein A. It's a byproduct of cholesterol. If I knew our family carried it, I would have encouraged him to have as many omega-3s as he could, to bring down his LDL cholesterol, to bring up his HDL cholesterol, because this can be genetic. He was a football coach, strong, worked out every day. He was so healthy, but you still have to do things to help your genetics. I mean, you didn't cause that. It's just what's in you. I have that gene now because I got myself checked. And so you better believe now I'm like salmon twice a week. I'm having omega-3s like the salmon, avocado, walnuts. I'm trying to fill up as much as I can so I can increase my HDL, decrease my LDL, decrease the lipoprotein A. And now I'm starting to teach people all about that, because it's something that not many people know about the LPA. So I think that salmon can help bring that level down, as well as other medications that you kind of have to take because it's genetics, But
it's obvious that you've taken this incredible situation that you found yourself in with your father and turned it into a passion, and now you're the voice.
Yeah.
You're one of the voices of Mauy Salmon, and really giving people instruction and making them understand the importance of proper nutrition.
Yeah.
In this case, that it hurts you so personally. So you're doing a fantastic job. I'm learning from it. I will be eating more omega-3 fats. I'll be checking my LDL, my HDL, all those numbers.
And LPA.
The LPA, I haven't heard that one yet.
Because
I'll ask
people,
my doctor.
it's weird, but they don't order it for some reason.
Yeah.
And it is a genetic thing. And if you don't know, you don't know, but it affects like 20% of the U.S. And you just don't know unless you're checking it. So I'm so mad that I just didn't know. I feel like I could have added more years to his life,
Yeah.
but it is what it is.
But what you have now is that you're adding years to your life, knowing about this. You're going to add many years to your children's life, knowing about this, about them potentially having it as well. And also using this as a platform to explain the world that there are these risks involved. And maybe you'll, even if it's one person out there that says, let me have my doctor check on it.
100%.
It'll be all
And
work.
they should.
Yeah.
And I think doctors are learning about it too. So I think a food like salmon is amazing. That's why kind of honestly, the first when they reached out, I'm like, well, yeah, because now I have to. Yeah. Like it's like a calling now. I have to explain how this is going to help.
Amazing. Oh, that's fantastic. Any other points that you want to bring across to folks out there with all the myths out there on dieting and eating? Is there anything you want to tell them that's going to kind of blow their minds a little bit? Are some people, I mean, you must have clients that come to you and they just tell you what they're doing and you're like, why? Who told you this? How did you find?
I know. I mean, people are doing all crazy kind of stuff. I would say the biggest thing is like you're restricting so much. Like sometimes people are doing intermittent fasting. Right now I have a surgeon who, as one of my clients, and he would fast all day. So he fasts from like, the second he wakes up until like 6 p.m. Then he has this huge meal. And so he comes to me and he's like, I keep gaining weight. I don't know what's going on. I'm only eating once a day. How am I gaining weight? And it's like, well, because that one time you ate was ridiculous. Yeah. And then you're going to sleep on it. Your body's like, hold on a second. I can't process this. You can't sleep well because of it. So the whole like restrict and binge thing is a big thing that I'm seeing, whether it's the restricting for 5 days, binging on the weekend, restricting all day, binging at dinner, because even after dinner, you're going to be like, well, now I want cookies. And then you'll eat all the cookies. And it's like, if you just had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you would feel so much better, so much more energy throughout the day. Your blood sugar would be more stable. So I think that's probably the biggest thing I would recommend.
So snacking between meals is a no-no.
I don't love that because just fill up at your meal, let your body relax and digest and be hungry for your next meal. Eat your next big meal, be full, relaxed, be hungry for dinner.
Do you want to just help me eat every single day and just come over to my family and my wife?
But you cook.
That's true. I cook.
You can cook.
But you just tell them what to cook and I'll cook it all day long and just be like, cook this, cook that, cook this, stop eating.
No more snacking.
Yep. And then you can babysit my kids too while you're at it.
No, I have my own. Okay. That's okay.
All right. We all have like 10 full-time jobs and they're called children.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Brooke, tell us where people can find more about you, how they can follow you. What are you up to? Where can people follow you?
So I have an Instagram, Brooke Sobh RD.
Sobh is spelled, by the way, S-O-B-H, just so you know. Brooke Sobh, S-O-B-H, R-D. Go on.
Yep. And the RD, obviously. Postpartum dietitian. One is for busy moms. Another one is for functional medicine. So all different types of things. And so, you can find me on Instagram and
Brooke Sobh.
Oh, and then my
go on.
Brooke Sobh RD.
Yeah.
And then my website is bsnutritioncoaching.com.
Okay. I'm not going to ask what BS is for.
Brooke Sobh.
Oh, of course, yes. Brooke, thank you so much for being on the podcast. I'm messing with you. Really a pleasure being with you. I want to learn more. I'm going to go on your website, on your Instagram. And of course, if you're out there and you need a dietitian in the Florida, Tampa area, is that right?
Yes, I'm in Tampa. But I mean, we are all virtual, so I can help. Okay,
fantastic. All right, Brooke, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. Thanks for being on the podcast. We appreciate you being here. And you can check out Brooke on her website. Just do a web search for Brooke Sobh and you'll find her right away. And folks, we appreciate you spending your time with us as well. And we'll be back with more conversations that explore the many ways seafood can support a healthier, happier lifestyle. Until next time, take care and keep enjoying good food.